Look at those hands.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at Khloe Kardashian's hands. What is going on
There's
there?
been a big thing about it.
First of all, she looks great.
She does.
She looks great.
She does.
She's plastic fantastic, but she looks great. Great doctor, whoever that is, right? Doing wonderful things with her lips and her eyes and her nose. But there's a Gucci ad that's out there, and you probably have seen it. You can Google Khloe Kardashian's hands if you really want to look at. It's like Spiegel's hands. Is the only way to explain what they look like. Like Spiegel or
I saw somebody,
Maleficent.
I saw somebody say it's those hands that you think when you were a kid were going to come out from under the bed and grab you.
Yes. It's scary as shit. Her hands look so long and bony, and then she's got these
really long nails.
Like, I don't know, that's like, what would you call that? It's almost like a goth look to the nails. They're long and look like claws.
The skin color on her hands is like matching her dress, which is gray.
Yeah.
So that doesn't match her face, which is nice,
which is
healthy
tan.
color.
Yeah, it looks like me.
Yeah.
He's going to the same tanning bed I am.
Yeah, but her hands are gray.
They almost like they powdered them or something, or colored them in afterwards.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just her natural skin color.
It could be.
Yeah, and then they put a bunch of makeup on her face. But these hands are highly disturbing in this particular photo.
She could also be like Nico and dead. We don't know it.
Well, that's true. Well, I mean, I won't get into it with Nico, but, Krissy and I were just talking. Nico started barking right before the show came on, and I'm explaining that Nico is now fully senile. I'll give him a treat, and I'll put it right in front of his nose, and he'll start walking around in circles looking for it. And I'm like, Nico, it's right there, buddy. And I don't want to put it near him because then he bites. Like, I don't think he can see real well. He doesn't have any teeth.
He's like, where is it?
I know. There's a rat running around him at night. He's just like, I don't know. I know.
Nico.
And I was thinking, I've said this before in the podcast. I'm pretty sure the dog is on the way out the door. Like, there's only so many.
We've been saying this for 2 years.
We've been saying it for 2 years. And I think probably episode number 500, we're going to be giving Nico updates too.
Yes.
But she might just be a ghost. This looks so weird to me. And then so I'm like, okay, well, there's the magic of editing, right? Somebody could have just distorted these hands to look a little longer. I don't necessarily know how they could have done that, but I'm also not a Photoshop whiz. Or I would make myself look a lot better on this podcast.
Maybe we need to get Facetune.
Yeah, I tried some of that on Instagram, and it was just so obvious.
Yeah,
I'm not young enough to get away with it.
Right.
So I thought, okay, there's a lot of stuff that gets taken out of context and manipulated and all that stuff. So maybe just give Khloe the benefit of the doubt that someone's doing this. So then I took a look at other pictures of her hands, and they are pretty long and bony.
Yeah.
Now you can't help the hands that you have.
No.
So it's not like I'm not saying she's a bad person because she has weird hands, but she has weird hands.
Well, the nails aren't helping anything, and the color again.
And the color. Look at those knuckles. They're just like they're. Remember?
They
do you
look
crack
extra
your knuckles?
long.
Do
Yeah,
you crack your knuckles?
I do.
Yeah, I crack my knuckles too. I've been doing it since I was a kid. And I remember when I was a kid in Catholic school, the nuns and the priests and the teachers. Don't crack your knuckles.
No.
Yeah, you'll end up with baseball-sized knuckles. And there was this old lady who used to go to the church. She was like the head of parishioners or some bullshit. The Catholic Church, they always give you stupid titles depending on what level of corruption you're involved in, right? And so this old lady is like, she
had large knuckles.
Oh my God, holy.
She was a cautionary tale.
They were baseball sized, and she like walked around and everyone was scared of her because she had these really weird looking hands with these huge
Probably arthritis.
Probably. Or, something conjunctivitis of the hand or some shit like that. I don't even know. So I always I felt like I was doing something bad, something wrong every time I cracked my knuckles, but I had a compulsion to do so since I can remember, right? I have to crack my knuckles or my hands feel like they're getting stiff and weird.
Right.
So I crack my knuckles. Now, obviously, many years later, we know that cracking knuckles doesn't necessarily hurt your hands and all that other stuff. But this reminds me of what my hands may have looked like had those priests and nuns been correct about my sinnery. I actually confessed once that I cracked my knuckles. That's a true story in confession. I never wanted to tell the priest what I really did, so I'd always make shit up. So I was lying to the priest, basically. I was like, I cracked my knuckles, I stole a cookie, I, whacked off. One of my friends one time.
How many Hail Marys did you have to do for that?
Oh, God. One time I told the priest in high school that I didn't necessarily think that the Bible was a true story. And in religion class, I questioned the validity of the dogma, right? I got smart with the teacher, basically.
Yes.
I thought I was, I thought it was Dead Poets Society.
Right.
And I was going to stand up on the desk and lead a revolt.
Challenge.
Yeah. And he sent me straight to confession, and I got detention. And he's like, he was a priest, but he wanted me to go confess to another about my sinnery, right?
Okay.
Taking God's name in vain or whatever the fuck it was. And so I went, and I was like so over it. I said to the priest behind the, whatever you call it, in the confessional, I said, listen, I don't necessarily believe everything everybody else believes around this school. And he's like, well, that's a problem. Maybe you shouldn't be at this school if that's the way that you feel. And I was like, sure, talk to my parents about it. Maybe they'll get me out of this hellhole.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Knuckles popped.
Big knuckles, big knuckle fingered crossed. And so he gave me like 300 Hail Marys or something like that. He told me he wanted me to go sit in the rectory or whatever it was, the church there at the
pews
school.
are?
Yeah, where the pews are. And I had to do like 300 Hail Mary, whatever it was. Krissy, it was fucking ridiculous. Gosh. I had a friend.
They really showed you. You're a devout Catholic these days, aren't you?
They got me. It was the 299th Hail Mary that convinced me that God was the Catholic God was the real version of it.
Right.
I had a friend once who was so upset about having masturbated that he had to go to confession.
Catholic guilt.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't think there's anything to be upset about. I'm like, I'm whacking off all over the place. Right. If you did it once and you're fucked, I'm going straight to hell. Right. But I didn't care. I just wanted to look at Playboy magazines. So Khloe's hands, they're highly disturbing. I don't know what to say about this picture. And she does have long, kind of skinny, weird fingers. I also think she lost a lot of weight, like a ton of weight. Mm-hmm. And I think had she not lost all of that weight, her fingers may be a little bit more plump. Like, I don't know if you have fat in your fingers, but you must, right?
Yeah.
Like people who are bigger get bigger hands, right? They get kind of those, like, what do they call them? Sausage fingers? You get those sausages. Like my kids, they have little sausage fingers.